Hi guys.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I got some audio problem to begin with. Anyway, so again, thank you again for tuning in. So welcome to my channel. So this is a video I just saw. It's from famous expat blogger Tim K. Of course, we all know who's Tim K. So this video I titled that expat, famous expat can read. It's too small the screen. Famous expat takes on marrying a 19 years old Filipina. So on this particular video, Tim was talking about. Of course, we all know that he was 20 years. There's a 20 years gap between the two of them. This video he's talking about the age gap, which is it's it's happening in the Philippines right now between the foreigner marrying young Filipina. I think it's getting more popular, nowadays. So I feel like this is a very good video from Tim. It's I like that that what like what is happening now that that we touch base on what's really the current situation. So I think it's going to help a lot of people to understand, the situation. So he's talking about like an age gap. Let's say he's giving a couple of example. Most of the foreigner are, are retiring, and then they are thinking of, especially if they are single, they are thinking of moving to the Philippines and, hopefully find a Filipina to marry a Filipina, to be like their, for as he said, most of them consider as a like a retirement wife, because you let's say if you over 60 even 70, and then you're already retired, you go to the Philippines, you find a young wife much younger than you, some maybe 20 or maybe even more, the age gap different. So and then what happened? Chances, as Tim was saying, chances that you're gonna make her like your retirement wife, which is because you're already retired, you're not thinking about working, and besides, you can work in the Philippines if you're a foreigner. You cannot work. You don't have a visa unless you apply for a visa. But I don't think you want. I don't think foreigner wants to do that. So he was saying that you're retired, and then chances you're gonna make your, almost like your wife's gonna be like taking care of you, almost like you're gonna like pulling her up, to retirement. Let's say if let's just say she's 20 years old, all of a sudden, what and you're just gonna make her like a housewife, taking care of you, taking care of the house, and then that's it. So that's the topic. But in his case, he's not that old. He's I think he mentioned that he's 43. So his wife is 23 years old right now. When they got married, I think he was she was 19, and Tim was 39, because there's a 20 years age gap between them. So for his part, what he was saying that instead of pulling Chrissy to retirement, even though Tim was not at the retirement age, he's only 43. I don't know if he was maybe retired from military or something. I know he has a background in military. And military, I think you can retire within 10 years of service. I'm not quite sure, So he's trying to just give an example instead of pulling Christie into like a semi-retirement, maybe, in his situation. But it's, in his situation, it was the other way around. She was the one who was pulling him down, it's almost he feel like he has to start all over again. He has to start, like thinking of making money, or even thinking of doing something. Of course, right now, the channel was doing great. His channel is doing great, so he already have sponsor on his channel, so that's all good. So that's what he tried to try to address. That is his situation, and then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they were just going to hang around maybe for a couple more years, doing blogging, and then afterward, I think they are thinking of going back to the U.S. By the way, they just came back from the U.S. So kind of probably like let the wife, the Filipina wife, Chrissy, it's almost like a soft landing. Just try to get familiar, get acquainted with the lifestyle in the U.S. So now and then, once like maybe just waiting for for their son to get older, and then probably they will go back and try to go back to the U.S. and live there, and let the wife get a career. 'Cause I think, well, if I'm not mistaken, she have a nursing background. So maybe that this very good job here in the U.S. It's very demanding. Healthcare. Healthcare service is very in demand here. Uh, so maybe that's that's their plan, is to what he's trying to say. He just don't want to feel like being uh, what's the word, like not being selfish. Ay, ay, ay. I tell you, when you get to my age, he doesn't want to be selfish. He wants to give the wife the opportunity, of course, to make money, to get a career, which is, I think, it's all good. Okay, so now my opinion. This is my take. I think this is a very good subject, and for me, I think a lot of I have seen it. We have seen it that a lot of expat, should we call senior expat, maybe too offensive if I say that. Uh, you know, uh, let's say older gentlemen, expat retiring in the Philippines, and they find a young wife, could be 20 to could be 30 or 40, so now what happened, so what he's saying that hopefully the expat will think about how, because of that age gap. We all know that the man's gonna be the one who gonna say bye bye first. So hopefully you have enough, to think about your Filipina wife. If you marry a Filipina, you have to think about her future, because you don't want to be like just marry somebody, and whatever, maybe just use her, and then like if something happened to you, hey, that's life. So I think you have to think about your Filipina. You have to kind of you have to think about her future. You remember, you marry somebody's younger, especially if you marry somebody who's like that, that age gap, like a 20 in the 20s. So you have to kind of also like a mentor, not only just like a husband, but you also almost like to have to be like a mentor of with your experience, with your life experience. Like me, now I feel like I have wealth of life experience. I can talk to a lot of people. I can share information. I when I started this channel, I particularly keep saying, guys, I have many life experience. I'm not bragging, like I'm not saying that I work as a butler for wealthy people, but what I'm trying to share was I know how it is to have money, At the same time, I know also, how, what it's like, being a struggle, person, because I've been through that. I had my share of struggle. When I first arrived here in the U.S., I had to work so many. I just the other day I was just thinking back. I have so many. I just cannot believe that the crazy things that I was doing. You know, I uh, I would talk about, I hold three job or something like that, and people probably wondering, how can you have three job? Yeah, I do. I actually have more than three job. I remember I was working as a houseman, and then I have to, on the weekend, I have to do work with a caterer. And then after that, I was also doing antique show, and antique show, and then after my I worked as a houseman. I was working like I think 8:30 to 4:30, and then after that I'm off. So I go to like auction house. I buy things at the auction house, and then I will sell it like on a like flea market or antique show. Here in Florida we have it that like once a month. And some of them I will sell it online on like eBay. So I do a lot of I call now I think about it. I call it crazy things, and it's just sometimes I don't make much, don't make much money, and then the other things I was doing, I was trading stock. I used to go to like on my lunch break, right after I was on my lunch break. I go to Quick and Riley. I don't know if you guys remember before there's a Quick and Riley, I will go to the Quick and Riley and go check out the stock. We don't have that internet, the luxury of internet yet. We don't have the luxury that you can trade on internet. I would go there, and then I would just go browse on the stock, or and then I would just buy and sell. I don't consider myself at that time. I don't consider myself as a day trader, but I was doing like I would buy something, let's say if there's a bad news, I remember I always watch this, his name is Dan Hopman, I believe, or Dorfman. He's just like, every time he says something, he moved the market. So I do remember watching him very closely, and then I would buy something, if they have on the bad news, like a good stock company, like Eastman Kodak or something like that. Have bad news, I buy it. Maybe I just buy 50 share or 100 share, and then hold it for like a week. And then when it's almost like almost like identical. It'll come back. It'll come back like a couple of a couple of points, and then I would just sell it right away. So I was doing that. I hustle to make money. I remember those all those things. So anyway, uh, forgot what I'm going to say now. So what I'm saying is, yeah, I got this wealth of experience, as a struggle, try to make it here, and then working for the wealthy people. I see the lifestyle, right? Beautiful lifestyle. I remember at that time, this is the period I was talking about. I was doing all kind of odd job, and then I see my boss. They have of course they have money, and then the kids every weekend. I would take them to like a Circus City. There's still a Circus City here before Best Buy Circus City, because kids like electronic stuff. Take it there, and then they just spend like thousands of dollar on just like that on the weekend, thousands of dollar, buy games, and then they just play for like a weekend, and the kids get tired, toss it away, throws it in a trash or something like that. It's just a kind of waste of money. It's hard. And then sometimes you feel like, hey, I want to go to I want to go to New York, bring a friend, go watch the Broadway show or watch the concert. Can you imagine that? And they, of course, the parents pay for the whole thing, pay for, go get a nice ticket. We all know they are very expensive ticket, and then plus the hotel, plus the, for for the companion, you have to have a like a babysitter, like a nanny, and then plus the friend. I'm just thinking about the number. Probably it's easily four to 5,000 for that just one trip to New York on a weekend. So that's what I'm trying to say is the lifestyle of the rich and famous, and then the lifestyle of us people, like me who was struggling. I had to have to hustle so many things, to make ends meet. So yeah, so for what for foreigner, what you gonna do with your Filipina? When you're married, you have to like be not only be a good husband, but at the same time you have to think of her future. Some blogger, I think, I've seen this from Ricky. Somebody mentioned it. I didn't hear it from Ricky himself, but somebody I was reading on comment was saying that he suggested that you always something like that. May not be the my telephone always ring. Uh, you always want to leave your Filipina in the like something in a better position than when you met her, something like that. Maybe I didn't put the right exactly the quote, but something like that. So you want to leave her in a better position than than the first time you met her. So yeah, I think that's a good principle to live on. And then what else? I really kind of let's see my note. I'm not so good, when I have a note. I am not so good with this. Yep. So I was saying that I don't have problem with the age gap situation. I think people start to open their eyes. I mean, it's not it's not sometimes it's not easy. It's not a pleasant scene. You see an older foreigners and marrying a very young Filipina. It's just I know, I get it. I get it. I get people, the critic, I get that. I feel that way too. But then when I have every time I see something, I have to do kind of analyze the whole thing, and then I try to analyze the situation, and I come to my own conclusion. I think this is kind of like a win-win situation. Not everybody will agree that, but that is what I feel. It's a win-win situation. I was just watching a channel. It's a Filipino channel, and then he's I don't know who is he. I don't remember seeing him before, but he was interviewing a lot of celebrity. He was interviewing, especially the old one. When I say the old one, my time. My time. He was interviewing, and some of them are new. I don't, the new one, I don't even know them, the new one. But the old one, I remember watching, he was interviewing this. She was considered, at that time, she was considered like a, in the Philippines, we will call them as a bold star. Bold star, I mean those who are actress that they were performing like a more like a R-rated, something like that, sexy, scene showing skin, something like that. But remember, Philippines, we have a very strict censor, so you're not going to see, more than that. Just maybe a little bit, topless, something like that. So I remember this actress. Her name was Lala Montilebano. Montelebano. I know if I pronounced that correctly. But Lala was of course she's much older now, and she was just being interviewed. I have I don't really recall watching her movie before, but I know who she is. And then she was young, like a starlet, and she was telling her story. She was 13 years old when she got discovered, and then somebody discovered her, and then her life story was just heartbreaking because her mother was working in a bar, and then she kind of doesn't she was kind of it's what we call mestiza. The mother was a bar girl who met a foreigner, and they got her pregnant. So that's where she was born. She came from a foreigner father, so she's kind of mestiza, kind of pretty. In the Philippine people, Filipino loves that. So at the age of 13, she was discovered, and then she started to do this sexy scene, in the movie. And then she was so naive, she doesn't know what to do. And then sometime, the director will say, hey, will ask somebody to teach her, and they kind of abuse her, because you're 13 and you feel like, and she doesn't have the support of the anybody of the family. The mother was kind of if they can, if she can make money from her daughter, it's all good. That kind of person. I remember when she was had to do a kissing scene, but she doesn't know what to do. So the director said, hey, ask somebody to teach her, and then instead of teaching her, the guy just abused her. And not only that, it's not like he took her to a hotel. He took her, actually did it in her house, with the consent of the mother. Can you imagine that? So and then the interviewer said, what did your mom said? Did you tell your mom what the guy did to you? And she said yes, but the mother said it's okay, because the guy gave her money or something like that. It's it's just heartbreaking, But and you'll be surprised if you watch the video, and then the interview said, "What? How did you feel?" And she said, of course I feel bad. Are you not, are you not mad at your mother? Why? It's almost like your mother sold you to that guy. And she said, I was mad at that time, but I understand also our situation, because we are poor. We need the money. She was 13 years old. That's what she said. That's why I'm trying to explain to a lot of the viewer here. This is real life happening. You're not going to understand the situation if you're not in their shoes. You're not going to understand. All you have seen. You say, where's the moral? What's the moral? You're 70 years old. You're marrying a 20 years old. Where's the moral there? I get that. I get what you're saying. But when you're in the shoes of like that 20 years old family, have nothing to eat, you know, it will change your perspective. If you try to live with them and see the situation, see the hardship, you will have more understanding. That's why I don't I bought that app, because it just, that's a real, it's the reality in the Philippine situation. All right. So anyway, so I'm sorry, this video again, it get too long. So what I'm trying to say is, hopefully, if you're a foreigner on your retirement age, as when you marry a young Filipina, you also have to think about her future. Maybe teach her, how to, how to stand on her own feet, not just to give her money. Like, hey, say, what? Oh, okay. And let's say if your Filipina has a job, is working as a maybe, housekeeper for somebody, making probably 5,000 peso a month. And then, if you think about it, you say 5,000. What kind of money is that? Maybe some. I know a lot of foreigners will say, hey, what? honey, why don't you, I'll just give you the 5,000 peso. You don't have to go to work. You just stay here home. But it's kind of nice but at the same time, like I don't think that's the right way to go. You could do that, but at the same time, maybe you should say, hey, what, why don't you do something? Maybe you don't have to go out and clean houses every day, but you can study. You're still young. You can study or teach her about business or something like that. Or I always believe, since I came to U.S. I don't, I was not very, I don't like school when I was in the Philippines. But once I'm here in the U.S., oh, talking about hustling, I was doing a lot of things. At the same time, I will always enroll in vocational. There's in Florida, we have lots of like a night school, started like a 6 to 9. There's a lot of vocational. You can take like 6 weeks of, let's say a computer, electric, if you want the wiring, how to wiring, automotive, air condition. There's a lot of vocation, and it's very cheap. Like you would be paying like a 6 week course for like a maybe $30-$40 a day. I was just actually trying to help the citizen, to better themselves. So that is what I'm trying to say. That maybe if you do that, let's say you rather your Filipina just stay home, don't have to go clean houses for somebody else, but at least you give them something skill, teach them something, ask them to study or learn something new thing, maybe do some craft or something like that, or maybe get a license, to maybe to sell real estate or something like that. I don't know, whatever she might like, So hopefully you can support her, so she can stand once you are not there anymore. Anyway, so let me know your thought on this video. Thank you again for watching. Take care. Bye bye.